Live. This is Frank with my main man, Dex. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Gonna fade out my chill music.
Ain't nothing
so,
wrong with that.
hey, man, it is Friday, and it's time for our live trading event, and we're live all over the place, man. Seriously, we're streaming places. Kung Fu has set it up so that I don't even know where we are. Like, I found a video of us on Periscope. Yeah,
Wow.
we're live streaming places we don't even know, so it's pretty cool. So if you're wherever you're watching, if you want to participate in the live chat, very simple thing to do. I'm going to put this up for you. The link will probably be in the description, but join the live chat at pulsewavetrading.com/live. Just get to pulsewavetrading.com. There's a big old button in the navigation bar that says live shows or something like that. Click on that, and you'll be able to participate in the live chat. So that's pretty much true of all our broadcasts. So we're doing something cool today, something that I wanted to do, and we're very we're private about the price trigger. We don't like to just throw the price triggers up on the screen because we've got a wonderful group of paying members who get access to that stuff. But every once in a while, we like to give you a peek. So we've got a sheet, Dex, that was hotly anticipated by me and many other people, that we talked about for a long time and we worked pretty hard on. And we call it our BTC pairs. And that is, it's a very simple set of price triggers that we post every night that keep you in Bitcoin if that's what you want to do. You don't have to do that, but many people do like doing that. And I've kind of gone back and forth over the years. It really depends. A lot of it depends on what's going on with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's crashing, it's probably like if it's in a very, if it's in a locked in bear market, you probably don't want to be always trading in and out of Bitcoin necessarily. You might want to be trading from Bitcoin into dollars to protect your investment. But when Bitcoin is, it's fairly stable right now, above $10,000, although we've seen some downward action this week. It's great to be able to trade in and out of altcoins like Litecoin and BNB and any of a million other coins other than BTC. So for that, if that's what you like to do, or if the market merits doing it, we have our BTC pairs, which uses the price triggers to get you in and out of Bitcoin. For example, I think it was yesterday, I went from Bitcoin into Ethereum and got a nice little gain for the day, and then set a stop loss in profit and got back into Bitcoin. And I ended the day with more Bitcoin than I started. That's how it works. That's the ideal scenario for trading the Bitcoin pairs. You start out with some Bitcoin, you go into another coin like Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever floats your boat, and if the price trigger triggers and you go into an active trade, you set your stop and profit, and you end up the day with more Bitcoin. That's the idea of using the BTC price triggers. And I know for some of you, you're listening to me and you're like, well, obviously. But it's not obvious to everybody.
Satoshis, man. Gotta stack those Satoshis.
Yeah, it's all about stacking those Satoshis. So, that may not be obvious to everybody who's listening. So I want to make that really clear. So when we talk about our BTC pairs sheet, that's what I'm talking about, our price trigger report. It's a report that helps you stack those Satoshis. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's what we're going to be looking at. And as we said, if you want to participate, ask questions. We're not going to be too long today. So get in there as soon as you can. You want to go to pulsewavetrading.com/live and join us. So what I'm going to show you, this is something that someone was asking me the other day, like about the sheet, how to use it, because I gotta admit, Dex, the longer I've traded with you using the pulse wave trading system and using the price triggers, the more I realize how important just the triggers are themselves, regardless of what the indicators are saying.
Correct.
And that's something like, for example, your pulse pick sheet only has price triggers.
It's sort of like stripping things down to the nuts and the bolts. And at the end of the day, that's how I move. I like to have everything stripped down. I don't need to see all these fancy indicators and things like that. It's nice to see them, but for me, the easiest way to do it is I just need to know what the price triggers are. Are we selling? If so, where are we selling? What are the conditions?
Right.
Are we buying? Okay. Where are we buying? What are the conditions? That's it. That's all I
Yeah.
need to know. And it's really
Yeah.
simple.
I was saying inside our Slack chat that the next time around, I know I am always redoing our members fast track series. I'm always trying to make it better and faster and easier to learn. And something that just keeps coming up in my mind that's making me like, I feel like I'm ready to redo it again, even though I just did it like a month and a half ago. Because I like to give myself a whole week's worth of work randomly out of being an obsessive maniac.
Oh, yeah.
The next time I do it, which will probably be in a month or so,
It's
I'm
like
going to
perfection.
emphasize the idea of just using the price triggers that way a lot more. Like you can use the indicators that are on there. They're helpful. In fact, just this morning, I tweeted out that Robert, who was featured as our Winner Wednesday person this week, every Wednesday we feature somebody who had a really good trade. And he was featured on Winter Wednesday, but he also got a special tweet for Friday because he killed again on his Netflix options. And he
He's been
said,
on a roll.
"Yeah, he's doing really well. That guy works hard too." He said, "Oh, hold on, I'm getting a message." So someone's telling me. Let me check out. So I think I didn't update the title, but the video. So those of you who are trying to go to the live chat, let me check the page. I'm being told there's a problem on it. So we're live, folks. I got to fix it now, or it's not going to get fixed. So let me get in there.
That's the thing about going live. Everything is live. You can't edit something that's live. You're gonna hear
the one thing
burps and everything.
the one thing I can say, if you're having trouble, well, they can't hear us, but I can tell our OG cat blogger to tell them. If you ever have trouble with the live page, try clearing your cache, because sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it's showing you the previous version of the page where it doesn't have the proper video on it.
What happens if you run out of cash?
You never run out of cache with Tree the Pulseways. So the title wrong, but the video I'm seeing the right video on there. The title's wrong. That's all. I just forgot to update the title. So
And you are going in and out though. It is like you're on a cell phone.
yeah, well, that I can't help. That's the internet.
So you're just gonna pass the butt like that?
Yeah, man. I didn't invent the internet.
That's right. Al Gore did. My bad. Let's see here. All right. All right. So basically, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. You hear me?
Okay. Yep, I hear you now. So basically, to summarize what happened this week, just as I told you, is the week happened the way I told you it was going to go. Today is Take Back Friday. Like I said, there are rules for Take Back Friday, and today the market met those rules. That's why the market is down today, because it's Take Back Friday. People are taking profits off of the table. All right, so no surprise there. It's been a very volatile week. It's been a crazy week, and those who are in the market got a shocking ride of their life. And everything that happened each day was exactly as I thought it was going to be. And now the dust is beginning to settle. And where we end today is where we're going to start. And this is where we're going to run for the remainder of the calendar year into, May 1st of 2020. So these are very interesting times. Can the markets hold support, or do we go bearish from here? That is the big question of the day. Where are we going from here? I would like to know the answer to that. We will know the answer to that by the close of today. So it's really exciting. I can't stress the excitement enough. It is truly exciting to see where we're going to go from here. And everybody's throwing up, what they think is going to happen. No problem with that. It's fun to prognosticate, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to make that money. You got to make it work for you. Now, I threw the world a bone. I told the world what I expected to happen, and it happened the other day. I
Yeah,
said when the
that you
Dow was
you
down
nailed
200
it
points,
right after we got off. It happened.
everybody was crying and calling for Armageddon. I said, don't be surprised to see the Dow turn positive into the close today, because that is what the market is indicating. And I'll be a monkey's uncle if that market did not turn positive right into the close. So you can't make this stuff up, folks. And when I made that call, the Dow was down 200 points. All right, so I looked like a maniac, a crazy guy. All right, but I told you what was going to happen. So I threw the world a freebie. If people profited off of that, you need to let us know. Hit us up. Let us know and say that you made some good coin off of that. Because you weren't going to get that anywhere else. You only get that here. So the next move I see happening right now is that the market is trying to find excuses to rally. I believe the market is going to rally. It would take
Interesting.
something extraordinarily negative to cause the market to fall. Right now, the market really wants to rally because the Fed has just guaranteed that they will backstop the market. They keep lowering rates, 2 rate cuts in a row. And this is the same Fed that said they were going to be raising rates and we could expect four rate hikes this year. That's what we were told. That was the word on the street. Did we get that? No. So liquidity is everywhere. Even the ECB is getting involved, saying they are prepared and ready to do battle. They will lower rates as necessary, as needed. They will do
Hmm.
whatever it takes. They're not scared. They're not shook. I said, okay, fine. Well, what did you see happening? Liquidity being pumped into the entire system as a whole. World global markets are receiving massive infusions of cash. Interest rates are being kept at zero or negative. Inverted yield curves. All types of weirdness and damage is being caused to these markets. Is anyone really paying attention? That is a question that we need to ask. Because I did warn again, I did say that as the Dow goes higher, poverty will increase. And that is exactly what we are seeing. A higher Dow, more people struggling. The economies are on a thin piece of ice, and it will not take much for the people to break through. And that's where we are, folks. Are we going to see any kind of economic revolution? I think not. I think that the governments of the world are doing all they can to keep this thing going as long as possible. If that means kicking the can down the road some more, then so be it. They are prepared to do whatever it takes to prevent economic Armageddon. So they will continue to pump liquidity into these markets. Dow 30,000, here we come. S&P 500, 3,200, here we come. NASDAQ 100, 8,100 and 8,200, here we come. Russell 1,700, here we come. All right. British pound is trying to stay afloat. All right. But I still believe at the end of the day, the US dollar is going to pop and close above par, and the euro is going to drop below par. Before it's all said and done, you're going to see that happen. What will be the catalyst to make that happen? Heck if I know. I just know what the markets are saying and what they're threatening and what they're showing us. You can only go by what the market tells you. And so far, that's what it's telling us. So we'll see what happens. But I will say this, and I'll close with this. Even if the markets go up, or even if the markets go down, not only do you have to trade what you see, but you have to know how to handle that. I don't care how chaotic the world gets. When you're saying the market should not be up, it should be down because of X, Y, and Z, doesn't matter. Because in each market condition, in each market environment, there are two types of trades that you have to do. Okay? One, in a bear market, you have to sell weakness and know when to sell strength. There is no avoidance. All right? You have to be prepared to do it. You got to sell those rallies and you got to sell those crashes. In a in a bull market, you have to buy those breakouts and you have to buy those pullbacks. That's it. Those are the two disciplines you must put into these markets. If you say I'm only going to do one and not the other, then you're going to limit yourself mightily in the profit potential department. Okay? You have to be prepared to do both. You can't be scared. Okay? You can't be scared. You got to go in there and you got to do it because scared money don't make money. All right? You can't be shook.
I didn't know what you're saying. I'm like, scared.
Yeah, can't be scared. All right? You can't be all scary, okay? You
Yeah.
can't be shook. You got to get in there and you got to ride those pulse waves. But I
Indeed.
will say this though. If you don't have the pulse waves, then you should be shook because you're not going to know what's happening. And that's just it. You will not know what's happening. And even if something does pop off unexpected, you won't know how to deal with it. You'll be looking for answers all over the place and finding none.
Yep.
That's what the post wave price triggers were created for.
Absolutely.
To take all that guesswork out, no over analysis paralysis, but you will know exactly what to do.
And I want to show people that actually. This is I'm going to show you guys, and this is going to be very quick. Actually, it's very, very quick. Now, I'm going to share my screen.
Sharing is caring.
It is indeed. This is Qcoin. This is what I'm using for trading cryptos right now. By the way, Binance US opened up this week, but I live in North Korea. I mean, New York, so I'm not able to use it. So this was the question that came up this week was how I trade these BTC pairs. You can see I have my favorites right here. I wish I could zoom in on that. The system we're using right now isn't great for zooming in on stuff. Actually, can I do this? Let me see here. I can. Look at that. I'm always smarter than I think I am. So these are the pairs that I'm trading right now. And this, by the way, this is what I do. And I think I'm going to encourage more people to do this. You talked about analysis paralysis. And that's what I say. When people are really struggling, it's because it's not because they don't have enough options in front of them. It's because they have so many. And in some ways, I feel like we've spoiled people in some ways. Not spoiled, that's not the right word, but the service is so accommodating. We've given people so many options. So what I did was I took the pairs that we look at on our live trading videos, and I said, okay, well, I'm just going to use those. Those are what I'm going to do. So these are my favorites here on Qcoin: Litecoin, ETH, BNB, and BTT. BTT has given me nothing for months, so but I always have an order in just in case because I want to catch the rally when it comes. And in this case, I don't have access right now to a way to short cryptos, so I'm only trading long, and that keeps it very, very simple. By the way, if you're a new trader and you're into cryptos, this is just great for you. And you know, it's again, this is a strategy where you're stacking satoshis. You're staying in Bitcoin unless there's a move in an altcoin. And so you can gain satoshis when those alts move. We had a move in ETH this week that was pretty powerful, and I caught it, and I locked in profit, quite a bit of profit on that particular trade in terms of percentage. So I'm going to show you. I'm the guy. Dex is the one who produces the price trigger reports, and I'll talk about what the price triggers are in a little while. Toward the end, I'll talk a little bit about where they come from and what they are, and that'll just take a second. But Dex is the one who produces them, but I'm the one who posts them on our blog and alerts. Me and Jen, my executive assistant, share that responsibility. So sometimes they come out late. It'll be like 10:30 at night, and I'll grab them and I'll be tired and ready to go to bed or whatever. But I take literally 5-6 minutes, sometimes even less, and enter my orders for all 4 of those pairs that you saw there. And this is what that looks like. Okay. In fact, me showing you how I do it is going to take even longer than what it really is. So here I am at pulsewavetrading.com, and this is a members dashboard. This is actually our starter members dashboard. This is our most basic membership. And so when you join, you get access to this dashboard. If you're not a member, you can't see this, because this is what one of the things our members get access to. So I click on dashboard, I end up right here, and I click on this beautiful little orange report that says crypto on it. And I already loaded it here, and this is what it looks like. And I got it nice and zoomed in for you so that you can see it. There are 50 pairs here, or actually 49, because it starts at 2. So 49 pairs. And you can see there's only 3 pieces of information on this entire spreadsheet: the name, Ethereum Bitcoin, Litecoin Bitcoin, Steem Bitcoin, Veritasium Bitcoin. We got some great ones on here: Monero, EOS, VeChain, Cardano, PPT, BTT, ZRX, Link. There's a lot of great choices on here. And we have the buy stop, the buy trigger, and the sell trigger. And if you're going long, it's very, very simple. You have this is your stop trigger, your buy trigger here, and this will be your stop loss when the trade initially gets filled. And so here's how simple it is. I open up my dashboard, I open up the crypto sheet, and I go to the pairs that I trade: Litecoin, ETH, BNB. So let's start with Litecoin. Show you how simple this is. And by the way, for those of you who are in the room, you're like, yeah, well, the thing that almost scares people about this sheet is it doesn't look like the Forex sheet. The Forex sheet has rally alert, crash alert, trend momentum. And a lot of our members use those religiously, which is absolutely fine. We put them there. We teach you how to use them. They're very useful. There's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, something that I really feel lately urgently feel like we want to get into people is that the most important thing that it's these have nice bright colors on them: the rally alert, crash alert, and trend momentum. And so it probably makes them seem really, really important. The buy trigger and sell trigger are 10 times more important than those columns. Those columns are useful, they're helpful. Sometimes they can get you a real big win, like they did for our friend Robert today on Netflix, on his Netflix options trade. But they're not nearly as important as these 2 columns: the buy trigger and the sell trigger. So as I said, report goes out. I know it goes out because I'm the one who posts it. I click on crypto, I go right here, and the first thing I do is grab, let's just start with Ethereum since it's at the top. I copy that price right there. And the screen changed because I copied it. Here, I'll do it the old person way. Copy. Then I go in here into KuCoin. Click on ETH. As I teach you in detail in our fast track series, I'm going to do a stop limit order. I already know that this trigger was not violated for the day. I teach people how to check that. But if I didn't know that, what could I do? I could go like this and wave over here. Let me zoom in on this chart. And I can already tell you that the high of the day has not violated the trigger. Not even close. So I'm going to put my stop price there, my other price over here. And I'm actually doing this on a screen at the other end of my desktop, so I'm having to lean in to see it. Let's see, the difference between those guys is subtle. I'm just going to put that there. And this is a small account, so I'm going to do 25%. And I click buy ETH. Nope, I got to put my my little code in here. All right, and that's it. Now down here it says stop order. There it is. Now I didn't do anything more just then than I do on an average night trading this sheet. That's how simple it is. Now, why? I don't have any indicator telling me it's a rally or a crash, because I'm doing essentially what Dex does. I have a list of favorites that I trade. I'm taking a look at the chart. I know what's going on. In this case, ETH is getting some nice momentum. It's turning around, and so this is definitely something that I want to be ready for if it moves again. And so I did that, and I'm good. So what do I do now? I go to Litecoin, open up my Litecoin chart, very briefly check the price action for today. The high was 0074. Go over Litecoin. The price trigger is way above that, so I'm good to go. And by the way, when we talk about violating, what we mean is we want to make sure that the price on the sheet is not above, that the price on the sheet has not been violated.
In other words, we'll make sure that
Yeah,
the
you
market
explain
has
why I
not
do this.
already moved beyond our entry price.
Exactly. Thank you, Dex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to multitask. It's not going well. So I pop those prices in there. It's a stop limit. I click buy. There's my Litecoin trade for the day. I'm going to go back now. I'm going to do BNB. And honestly, if I were doing this at night by myself, like when I actually place trades, I would have been done 5 minutes ago. It's really that easy. I don't overthink it. You know, I can obviously, by the way, this little bit that I'm doing here, I'm giving myself a small buffer. I'm making the limit price slightly higher than the stop price. If you see me fiddling around with it, that's what I'm doing. And then the heartbreaker, BTT. BTT has definitely not violated the price trigger for the day. But here's the thing, like, I know there's lots of you out there. For example, we have plenty of people who are Veritasium enthusiasts or Litecoin enthusiasts or all kinds of stuff. And you're always waiting for it to rally. And so, you know, on our live shows, you ask questions, you say, you know, how does this chart look? What's going on with it? And you're wondering when you should get back into it. When's the time? When you're using the price triggers, now, again, you can do these things in a more advanced way. You can be more engaged with these things, but the simplest way to use them is the way I just did. Have your handful of things that you trade and enter your orders based on the buy trigger when the sheets come out. And we do that 5 nights a week. It's that simple. So that's it. I just did all of my crypto trading for the day. Now, what's the next thing that would happen? The next thing that would happen is I'm going to keep an eye on these, and these are stop orders. These are not limit orders. These are stop orders, meaning I'm telling the market, if it hits the price trigger, get me in on it. That's what a stop order does. It says to the internet market buy E thingy, if it hits this price, I want in. That's what a stop order does. So these stop limit orders that I entered on KuCoin are not going to get filled unless the price trigger is hit. So what I'm going to do now is keep an eye on KuCoin for the rest of the day that I'm trading and see if it got hit. And that's easy to do. I have it on my iPhone. I have it on my iPad. I have it on my computer. It's pretty easy to check in on every hour or so. And if one of them got filled, very simple thing I'm going to do. I'm going to enter a stop loss to protect the trade. And how am I going to enter a stop loss? If you're a pulse waiver and you know how to use the price triggers, there are really 2 options for that. If the trade is in profit, I'm going to use our proprietary pop method. That's going to take me about 3 seconds to figure out what my stop loss is going to be. If the trade is not in profit yet, if it is, you know, it's sort of hovering around the entry price or it's pulled back a little bit, I'm probably going to use either the sell trigger from the sheet. That's sort of your default method. If the sell trigger is really far and I'm not happy with that amount of risk, I'll probably still just use the pop method to enter a loose stop loss so I can stay in the trade and see how it plays out. Either way, I'm protecting myself against catastrophic loss in that trade. The other thing that we do at PulseWave Trading is we don't bet the farm on every trade. We leg into trades with reasonable size trades, depending on your personality and approach, reasonable sized trades, and try to catch that trend. And so we log small profits, we prevent large losses, and that's the way to really build an account. So very simple. It's not a lot of stress. There's a reason that DEX has been called the Vulcan. It's because it takes the emotion out of trading. Now, here's the thing. The BTC sheet doesn't have the indicators, so I don't really have a choice. There's really no way for me to just fart around with this thing, to put it bluntly. But that said, I actually do the exact same thing with the Aussie dollar. I trade the Aussie dollar as well. That's a Forex pair that I trade. Forex isn't my favorite thing in the whole world, but I do it just because I want to keep my skills sharp and get better at it. So I trade the Aussie dollar, and generally, even then, where I have the rally, crash, and trend momentum, I generally don't look at them. I'll often just look at the daily and weekly chart, see what the complexion of the market is, and decide if I want to get in or not. And then I place my trade very similar to the way you saw me place it here. And that's how the price triggers work. Super, super simple. And if that, I broke it down simple as we can. If that seems hard, we have our fast track series that's available to every single member at Pulse Wave Trading, where I personally take you by the hand and show you step by step. And when I say step by step, I mean and in these cases, I'm using a different app. I zoom in great detail and say, okay, see this box here? You're going to put this here, and you're going to click that, and you're going to do this. We show you how to use the POP method, and we have our POP method guide. We show you how to use the 4 phases of Pulse Wave Trading, which is basically your housekeeping for the day, to make sure that you're doing all the right things, so that you too can do what I did, which is get in to your trading interface, whether it's Oanda to trade Forex, or Thinkorswim to trade equities, or Binance or KuCoin, or whatever it is you're going to use to trade cryptos. You get in there, you place your trades, you get out, and you move on with your life. Because that's what it's about. We keep it simple. So that's about it. So let me head over. I'm going to head over to our oh, actually, I already have it open already down here. So Kicking Gravel's asking me, does it feel like KuCoin has good liquidity? Yeah, it's not Binance, but most of the time it feels pretty good. I did have a stop loss not get filled the other day. It's not my first choice. It's my first choice as a New Yorker right now. So because people in New York have very limited options. If I were somewhere else in the United States, I'd be signing up for Binance US, which is not available to me. But I really like KuCoin. I like the interface. I like the way it works. I actually prefer, if you could take Binance's liquidity and use KuCoin's interface, I'd actually prefer that. It's a little easier to use, in my opinion. Other than their charts stink. I use TradingView for the charts. And when I say the charts stink, what I mean is you can add your indicators. And those of you who are Pulse Wave Trading members, we show you specifically the 3 indicators we use and exactly how we set them up. That's one of the videos in our Fast Track series. You can set those up here all day and they'll work fine. But when you come back the next day, they'll be gone, because someone who works at KuCoin wants you to jump off a bridge, apparently. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. So what I do is I just use TradingView for my charts. I use TradingView to use the POP method. And that's easy. It's not all that expensive. In fact, you could probably get away with a free account, most of you. I'm looking at a lot of things, so I have a premium TradingView account. It's not expensive, though. I think it's $20 a month, $15 a month, something like that. So that's my answer. You're welcome, Kicking Gravel. He said he thanked me. And I don't know who Kicking Gravel is, because people are using different names in here than they used on YouTube.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Because they set their YouTubes up when they were 15,
Pretty much.
You know how it is. You set your password, you got your AOL.com email address, and you were called Pretty Princess 55 or whatever it was. now you're all grown up, but you don't feel like changing it.
That's hilarious.
So anyway,
I got stuff that I've had for a long time. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. My daughter's in here asking me questions. I told her I'm live on the interwebs.
Uh-oh.
She wants to say hi to the internet. Say hi. Don't say anything offensive. She's very edgy, my daughter. Very edgy, we say.
Hi. Can they see me?
No, they can't see you,
Oh.
sweetie.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, that's it. Get out of here. Love you. That's my older daughter. You guys have heard the little one. That's my older one.
We're all about family up in here. That's another
She's
thing too, is
she's
that
right.
using the pulse waves, it gives you the ability to have a life. You don't
Yeah.
have to stay chained to your computer screen all day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great thing. And I mean, nowadays we've got it better than ever. You know, I get alerts on my watch about what's going on with my accounts. I mean, crazy stuff, man. It's amazing how easy life is getting for traders when it comes to the technology that we have access to. So it's awesome.
I know, isn't it dope? I love it.
It's awesome. I love it. I mean, you know, just today I was I never have enough screens. My computer, I use 3 screens. And I was talking to Kung Fu, and I was like, "Man, sometimes I just forget I'm even trading, and you know, I forget to look at stuff because we're working. You know, the last few months we've all been working so hard to make pulse wave trading better and better and better." And he said, "Dude, you just got to have a screen open." And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna set it up." And I was able to set up my trading windows right on my iPad. So I was like, "Where am I gonna get another screen?" I grabbed my iPad, and sure enough, even in I have the older gigantic iPad Pro. Remember they had that huge one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those. It's enormous. The thing cost a fortune too. I bought it a couple years ago, but it's still useful to me. When I teach, I use it. It's really good. So I was able in the browser. It wasn't even the apps. I was able in the browser to open up KuCoin and Oanda and manage my trades with that screen. So that was a lot of fun.
That's sweet, man. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
talking
it
about.
worked really well. The other thing I did today, which was ridiculous, several times I tried to the way I'm set up at my desk, I have my laptop in front of me, and then that's connected to 2 screens that are kind of above it and behind it. And a couple times today, I was watching a video, and I tried to pause it by touching the screen on the laptop.
Wow.
So, all right, last chance for questions. If you're with us live at pulsewavetrading.com live, we're going to wrap it up for the day. I was going to give you guys my little price trigger presentation, but I'll save that again for next week. I do that every week, by the way. You can watch any of our videos at pulsewavetrading.com. By the way, if you are looking for more info, I'm sharing my screen here. We've got our PulseWave blog, which is very active. This video will be there later. We had our FOMC this week. We got our new Instagram, which literally no one follows because I just turned it on and never promoted it. So that's right there if you want to follow us on Instagram. We got our tweets. We got our most recent posts. So anything from us that you'd like to see, it's going to be up there in the PulseWave blog. Just go to pulsewavetrading.com and click blog. You'll be good to go. Kick and Gravel says, imagine trading with Apple glasses in the future, being able to trade everywhere. Absolutely, dude, it's coming, man. You're going to be able to blink at it. It's going to do it.
It sure enough is. It's on the way, folks. It's going to be here before you know it.
I'm telling you, the iPhone 30 is going to be a glowing orb that flies into your ear. And all of us paranoid maniacs are gonna talk about how bad it is, and then line up and buy it. We're gonna say they're trying to steal our thoughts while we're online.
Dude, the Borg is
giving our
coming.
blood sample.
I don't know why people think it's not. The Borg is coming.
It's coming, man, and we'll probably be a part of it. But all right, cool. Thank you everybody for listening. Listen, here's the thing. These price triggers are easy to use. It's a relaxed way of trading. It takes the guesswork out. It takes the stress work out. It takes the frustration out. I was thinking about it. I literally woke up this morning and I was thinking about it. The price triggers, I don't like to use the word shortcut because, you know, you and I, Dex, our personality says there's no shortcuts in life. Truth is, the pulse waves are a shortcut to becoming a very active, competent trader because they do all of the work that takes years, even decades to learn how to do. That part is done for you. Then all you have to do is learn trade execution. You have to learn the nuts and bolts of how to enter a price trigger order. And you guys saw me do that. That took me about 5 seconds each. And then there's just a couple little things that you'll pick up from our video series, and then some cool tips and tricks you'll pick up as you watch the videos that we do. You'll get a feel for what's going on in markets very quickly. It's really not that hard, especially when you have a powerful tool like the pulse wave price triggers. So here's the thing. Make an investment in your future. If you want to become a trader, this is the best way that I know of to get into these markets outside of quitting your job, spending $100,000 on educating yourself, and then blowing up your account for the first 6 months while you figure out all the mistakes you're making. This is a much better way. It's a much more economical way. And there's a lot of potential there for you to profit. We don't give financial advice. We don't guarantee any kind of results. All we say is these price triggers are really cool. Riding these pulse waves is something that I don't think you're going to regret. I think you're going to love it. So go over to pulsewavetrading.com. Join us today. It's a monthly subscription. The other thing that you get access to, which I don't talk about enough and is actually a very, very big part of our service, you get access to our Slack room where Dex and I are there all the time. Kung Fu's there. Our new moderator, Krimerica's in there helping out with everything. And you get your questions answered. You've got a great community of crazy people who are like-minded, who are there to ride the pulse waves with and answer your questions and help you. And most important, Dex is there. And I mean, he's there. He's in there all the time answering questions. He shouts a lot because he puts his caps lock on, but don't take it personally.
It's easy for me to read.
He's like my dad that way. Likes to type in caps lock. So, all right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. Dex, you got anything you want to add?
No. I never log out. Just so people know, I never log out. If my computer's on, I'm in the Slack. Even if I'm not there physically looking at it, I'm still always logged in. So I do check throughout the day if I'm not in there. So you can always get to us. You can get to one of us. But the real thing you want to get to is these markets.
Absolutely,
because the real markets are upon us. Sunday night into Monday morning begins the real markets. We've got all the news and stuff out of the way, and now the markets are ready to rock and roll. So get ready, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week. This week was boring, to be frank.
Yeah, too many government reports. FOMC weeks are always boring.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to make a move until after their announcement.
Yep.
And then by then it's the end of the week.
And then it's going to be Sunday.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
That's what's going to happen Sunday.
There you go.
Also, follow us on Twitter, Pulsewave Trades. We would love to have you following us on Twitter. We're sending out our live alerts when we're on there. So if you're a person who likes to scroll through Twitter, there's actually some really fun content that we've been putting up there, and actually useful content. Really great stuff. We're summarizing most of our broadcasts there. You're going to get a lot out of it. So check that out, twitter.com/Pulsewave Trades. All right, thanks everybody so much for joining us. We'll see you in the Slack chat. If you're a member, the rest of you will be riding these pulse waves. We'll see you on Twitter. We'll see you on YouTube. We'll see you on Vimeo. We'll see you on, oh my goodness, all the other Facebook. We'll see you on all the other places that we are. We're everywhere. You can't escape the pulse waves. The question is, are you gonna be riding them or choking on them? There's really no way to choke on the pulse wave. It's not really an aggressive thing, but I thought it sounded funny. So, all right. Thanks.
Look at it this way: you're going to pay us one way or another.
Yeah. With your sorrow and regret, or with your membership.
Yeah, because all right. Look, they may be on the other side of our trades.
Yeah, man.
We're taking your money one way or another.
Yeah, if you're, let's break it down. If you're listening to this, you're probably trading. You might as well have a clue while you're doing it. Ride the pulse waves.
There you go.
Well all right, said. Buddy. All right, Dex. Well, I'll talk to you probably Sunday, although we always come up with something to talk about. And the rest of you, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, folks. We're out of here.
Peace.